Okay, I should have everything up and running now. What's going on, guys? It's Justice here, and welcome to a new stream. I'll be live for about an hour and a half. Make sure to say hello in the chats. I'm multi-streaming tonight. This is a chill evening stream. Streaming on Twitch and streaming on YouTube. Yeah, so just, streaming on both platforms. Taking it super chill and easy tonight. Just logged onto the game, wanted to get a stream out to you guys, see if anyone wants to chat. And I'm doing the Completionist kind of grind, the Completionist journey. Quick recap, currently at 90 out of 100. You can see the ones I've got left. And I'm currently working on the Crocodile Dundee one. Crocodile Hunter, trying to get all the Hunter upgrades from Dundee's shop. I've just realized that the NPC is literally called Dundee as well. I was actually just joking over on Twitch with the Twitch title, but turns out the NPC is literally called Dundee, so Jairus beat me to it with the joke. So yeah, literally Crocodile Dundee tonight. Yeah, streaming's gonna help me get through this one, and I'm gonna bring up the dev blogs, I think, from last week and this week, and just read through some of those. But we're gonna start off by harvesting some potatoes. Got to admit, like, these graphically look way better than they used to, right? I don't know when this got reworked, but gonna harvest some potatoes. This is actually an achievement, and this might actually box off the Sears Village achievement diary. So again, comp progress. So that is the plan right now. There we go. Justice has just completed the Sears Village set tasks. Pretty awesome. Hey, people like PMing me. Thanks, man. As if I've just completed a daily challenge. Good riddance dailies. We might get to talking about that later. We will see. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, mate. Achievement completed, boys. Wait, I should go and actually get the unlock, the rewards, right? Sears headband. I'm sure I had the Sears headband, but I guess not. Given by Sir Kay in Camelot Castle for completing. Let's just go and quickly talk to him, and then we'll crack on with the stream. Go and get the reward. Don't think I'm going to get a lot out of this reward, but we'll go and grab it anyway. Once I get set up in the Dundee area, I'll probably bring a dev blog up and just grab a paragraph or put it on my second monitor and start reading through it. Hey, Papador, how you doing, mate? Thanks for saying hi in the stream chat. How's it going, man? Oh, it's okay. There we go. Holy crap, the FPS drops in this area are insane. All good on your end, Papador? You can hear me okay and everything? The cam is super dark. I've not got a proper setup yet. I don't know whether I even want to get a super bright light on my face because I'm just not used to gaming, obviously, with a bright light in my face. But we'll figure something out. In the daytime, it's totally fine, but in the evenings after work and that, and after the kids are asleep, it's not the best. But figure something out in the long term. We're good. The most important thing is that you guys can hear me fine. Did he not give me an award? Wait, hold up. How do I claim? To claim your Sears Village set reward, speak to any Seer in the village. Okay. Could I buy a spare one? Yeah, this is super weird, man, because I'm pretty certain I've done the Sears tasks, but then I had one outstanding to go and farm some potatoes. But I'm pretty certain I had the cosmetic override for Headband 4, so I have no idea, man. Stuff that. Hey Jay, how's it going? Hey, thanks Jay. Yeah, I know it's super dark and everything because I don't have a proper lighting, but other than that, Yeah. You think the camera angle's weird? I've like heightened it a little bit. I'm basically using an SLR camera, but I've just got it on a Destiny 2, massive Destiny 2 book right now called The Art of Destiny. Don't worry, that's all my Teams meetings. What, everyone in literal caves? Yeah, man, I'm used to it with Teams meetings as well, dude. I have mine on like this on Teams meetings. But I also don't work in the dark at night, so it's usually brighter in the daytime, man. Just put these potatoes in there, and hopefully I remember to like actually sell them at some point. Hey, Serendipity, how you doing? Yeah, completed the SIS village tasks. Happy days. I'm just gonna go off to the Crocodile Dundee area. Go and crack on with the whirligigs. Mate, if like anyone listens to our conversation, like, you know, anyone who doesn't play, it's so funny streaming games, dude, because if my wife started like listening to this, like, she'd have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. I swear to God, like, when you play games, it took me a bit of time to get back into RuneScape language. Every time I come back, you know, it's a different language, innit? Gonna go and catch some whirligigs. I mean, whirligigs in particular is a weird word. For sure. Okay, we've got the hollyhocks, mate. People are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Hollyhocks, what the hell are hollyhocks? Right. Let's crack on. We have to do this stupid strat where you get to see this amazing player model on the screen. Hey, how good is this going to be when player models get reworked? Happy days. At least this screen is brightening up my face, right? Because it's a very flipping bright area here. The desert is so flipping bright on this game. Us gamers aren't used to this. We come to the desert in RuneScape and we get blinded. You can use any tab other than wardrobe. You can actually use any tab. Really? I didn't know that. So I don't have to be stuck in a wardrobe. Mate, no one said that. Because you can't even see my character when I'm stuck in the wardrobe. No, in that menu. Oh, wait. You can actually use any other tab other than wardrobe. Okay, good. Let me just see then. Oh, no. No, it still covers me, dude. That's so annoying. Seriously, this strat has been out for how long? Like, literal years. How long? This strat's been out for literal years. The cover is what makes it work. I know, but like, come on, Jagex. Come on. I mean, yeah, I mean, how else could they do it? Can't they just click something here and make us stop from walking back without like a chat dialogue? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's messed up. It's messed up. Alright, and we're off. We're off. Holy crap, this place is so bright. Okay. Anyways. Best was when Necromancer came out and everyone was just saying, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, finger this, finger that. Yeah. Highly misinterpreted, dude. Finger of death. Mate, that's the only reason why you're trying to get me to do Necromancy, isn't it? For just the stream content of me literally commentating over what I'm doing. Shocking. Rest in peace, your tendons. I know my wrist is already hurting today. I think I've rolled on it. Or like Erin's bent it back somehow. I don't know. It's probably just from lifting Erin up like 24/7. She's getting bigger now. And like yeah. I do find that weighs on the wrist a bit. Lifting up my baby, my toddler. You forgot this was a comp rec? I know, right? Welcome. Welcome back to this place you were hoping you would never have to remember again, right? You were hoping you would never have to remember this place. Well, you're watching me now. You're watching me go through the pain. You can help me get through the pain like you did. You've been through it. You can relate. You can relate. Oh my god, I'm already aching. This is shocking content. This is shocking content. Like... I think what makes it worse is there's no like freaking pattern to it. It's like, it's just the bloody moving all the time. You can't even like create a pattern. Oh. I'm going to do this in stages. I don't think I'm going to crocodile Dundee all night. That'll be shocking. I think I'm going to bring up a blog though in a second. Unless if I don't know, Jay. Yeah, I don't want to make you do extra stuff really. What are you up to right now, Jay? In my head, I just want to have like a paragraph and then read it and then see if it's worthy of talking about from like the previous 2 blogs. But I can bring them up. You doing some raids? Nice. Got an ancestral bottom. Oh, that's so nice, dude. The drops are so big, aren't they? Was that a keep as well or a split? What's the culture on old school, by the way? In general, like, I guess you only go with mates though, right? So I'm guessing you always split. So. Oh, solo, nice. Holy. What's the conversion rate right now? Is it like 1 to 13 or something? On the GP. 07 is definitely more iron keeps main splits. Iron keeps and main split. Yeah. That's just the OG culture, really. I think... that's just the OG culture to me, dude. But I think, Jay, what I've learned from our trip where we didn't get a split on a Mascot, which really sucks because I need that liquidity, you know? I need that cash, dude. I'm going to make it... I think I'm just going to make it compulsory, I think, Jay. Depending on the place we go, I think I make a logical decision with input from friends. If we go on Mascot, the drops are so big there that they're worthy of splits, so... I think, depending what mood we're in most of the time, I think I'll set it as splits. And then irons obviously can keep, though. Because they have to. Unless you're a kind man like Wazzy, where occasionally he'll jump on his other account and split. But not everyone has that luxury of, like, being rich enough on a main account at the same time. Yeah, that sounds incredible, Jay, that boss commentary. I'm not even going to say that out loud right now. I'll wait until I have to say it. Or just say it by accident. Not going to lie, Jay, part of me... I wish I had more time to do everything, Jay. Because I'm actually in the mood to go and learn Necro. But I'm keeping my focus on comp right now. And to be honest, comp works quite nicely if I'm a bit tired. So it's like super chill. Where is my crocodile now? Like, I have no idea where my crocodile... He's like... What's he doing? He's like, gone off on one. Come and catch the whirligigs, mate. There we go. I think I am spam clicking a bit too much. I think I need to chill a little bit. And this is so annoying. Like, it's not even like a consistent thing. Like, you have to wait for it to catch it. Then you can go... Then he has to piss off... He's like going over there for a little rest. And then he goes again. And then I have to click again. This is terrible content. Couldn't they have made it so... Couldn't they have just added some variety to this comp rec, guys? Like, this area is pretty big. Couldn't they have just got me to do some, I don't know, make the Het statue, do some agility, make the all, like, farm each different type of flower, and then comp rec done. Like, the whole point of comp, why do I have to do this for 5 hours, you know? Like, I get what this content is now. I don't need to do this for another 5 hours to understand. If I want to do it as a training method, fine. I wouldn't, by the way. But if I want to do it as a training method, I would do it as a training method if it was like 2 mil an hour, maybe. Which it isn't. But, I don't know, this is like debatable of whether this stuff like this should be a comp rec or not. It's a bit debatable. I know like you unlock stuff from the reward shop. But I'm not sure. I don't think anyone likes this. So I think that's the problem. Like, sometimes metonymous gameplay is okay and some people are okay with it. The way this is structured, I don't think it quite lands for me. And everyone I speak to hates this. So, like, why have it in the game? Like, I'm being proper. I'm simplifying this right down. Why have it in the game? Like, if people don't enjoy it. I want to go out and actually hunt stuff. I don't want to just catch stuff in a pool with a crocodile, you know? Anyway. Hey, how's it going over on the YouTubes? Do people still play RuneScape 3? Yes. Working on comp on 2 accounts at the same time? Good luck. Oh, God. 1 account's enough, mate. And you're messed up without dailies? Oh, no. You're not actually complaining about it, though, right, mate? You're just joking about, surely. Or are you one of those who's actually, like, complaining about dailies being removed because I can't play 5 accounts at once efficiently? I can't just log in, like, for 10 minutes on all 5 of my accounts to do dailies to equate to 3 hours of gameplay and then log off again. Congratulations, Serendipity. Everyone, a bit of congrats to Seren there. He's just completed another trim requirement this morning. Well done. It goes really fast after 3K. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to as well, is we joked about it when I was here yesterday, is that the actual unlock that helps change the speed that you feel like you're actually progressing on this particular minigame type thing is unlocked when you complete the Completionist achievement. So you get the achievement and then you're like, okay, it's easier now. Brilliant. That's really helpful. That's really helpful now, after I've just done it for like 5 hours, you know, and I'm not coming back here. Like, I don't think they should set up a, I don't think they should set it up in a way of, okay, it makes it now easier to get trim. I think that's probably a bad attitude to have, to appeal to a large player base of making that content fun and actually having meaningful progression. But yeah, look at me going into deep thought on flipping catching scarabs. Right, let's move on. But yeah, Lucas, it will make things hard for people like me that play it more than 1 account, but it's better for the game in the long run. Yeah, it's 100% better in the long run, yeah. I totally can sympathize with that aspect, but you'll probably just figure out another way of playing efficiently on more than 1 account. And I think it's probably a niche who approach the game like that. But you'll probably figure out another way of playing efficiently with 2 accounts, mate. Yeah. Mains don't really do keeps on old school unless it's a mass world. Yeah, okay. Good to know. And if it helps, Necro is really easy to learn. You learn 1 rotation and use it everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, this particular content is just sluggish to play. Yeah, I think it's just sluggish because of the whole, like, going out there and then coming back in. They could probably just smoothen it out and then people probably wouldn't complain as much about this comp rec. It just feels sluggish, and kind of things like this just are like a serious pain point, and they could, you know, people are spending hours in this place before they move to another place, and I don't know how many players would actually put up with this. Like, veteran players put up with this, but I just don't know how many, like, players checking out the game, if they get to this area, would be like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Like, yeah, like that one, and then boom, boom. Yeah. So try and get where the crocodile's kind of chilling, yeah. You just have to, like, you have to pay more attention, is what it is. So, like, that one's close to the croc, so I'll whack that one, and then it's close, and then boom, boom. Get those 2 quickly, and then wait again. It's just you have to be really attentive. My XP's gone down now because there's more planes. I think I'll top up flowers in a second. Okay, Saren. That's fair. It's quite difficult for me to do that when I'm streaming. But you mean like once, yeah, it spawns in the same place, right? I get what you mean. So like that one's too far away. So if I get into a rhythm of like doing one around this area, but it's gone now. I know what you mean. Like it appears in the exact same place. Yeah, I think I did get into the rhythm of that off stream when I did it on Leagues. That rings a bell now. This gets a bit of a different pattern going, but that one's over there, which is annoying. So I have no idea which one spawned here in the bottom right. That would be perfect because that's where my mouse hovers. Oh no. Which one was it? I've got to find the one which spawns here. Right, let me just pay attention for a second. Holy. Right, it might be one of these over here, I don't know. Good God, man. I'm going to put that there, actually, because that's out of the way now, isn't it? That's better. Yeah, I'm hoping I can just, like, talk to you guys, and that makes the stream entertaining, and we can just chill out and hang out, and it makes the comp rec easier for me for the next hour. But I probably will, if we run dry, I'll bring up the blogs and start reading some blogs as well, and just... Because I am interested in reading the blogs, I don't know whether I've thought this through, because it's going to be hard to, like, get a blog going and read a blog whilst doing this. Okay, that one spawned there, I think, so that one ain't too bad. Okay, I'll look out for this one that spawns where my mouse is. Okay. Copy and paste it into a text-to-speech app. How the heck am I supposed to manage that? I do like the suggestion. I'm just trying to think how I'd manage it. Lucas over on YouTube. Just want to do other content when I'm doing something AFK on one of the accounts. Yeah, that makes sense. You can definitely do that without dailies, so you probably do that already. I'm a one account type of guy, you know. What about you guys? I'm a one account type of guy at a time. Like even Leagues Catalyst, I said to myself, I think it's because I just can't take that much progression. I'm just too much going on. Like I don't want to overload my brain. I need it to be in rest state when I'm gaming as much as possible. When I did Leagues Catalyst, I set up an alt. And I called it just as alt. And my plan was to play my main while I was playing Leagues. And I think I logged on my main like twice the first week. And then I completely disregarded my main. For 6 weeks straight, I didn't log into my... For 5 following weeks, I didn't log into my main. And I just... Because Leagues was so time consuming that every single minute I played, I had to be so efficient. And I was, like, with my actual gameplay, like, not OTT efficient, but efficient enough. And all I could think about and focus on was, no, I've just got to log in and I've got to do something efficient on my Leagues account. I literally didn't have the time to even consider playing a main during that time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have completed it. If you're interested in my reflection on Leagues, feel free to ask, but also it's on my YouTube video that I've recently posted on my journey. One thing you'll miss is traveling merchant. Yeah, I think they'll, if they're taking things seriously, which they clearly are. Let me just put some flowers in here actually. Get some flowers in. I can fill all, can't I, actually? Fill. Okay. Customizations. Okay, and we're off. Should be able to get some speedy boys. Okay. Yeah, the traveling merchant, I think if they design things right, they'll just figure out, okay, what were the pain points? Why did people go to the traveling merchant in the first place? Like, maybe it was a shortcut, but like, can they improve that content or just remove the other content, etc., in which you get those supplies from? I think if people are using those things, yeah, maybe because they're just efficient and the actual gameplay might be okay. I think that's what they have to question. Is what players were bypassing, is the content that players were bypassing, is that content fun and good and engaging and fit in with the design philosophy of the game and feel RuneScape-y? If the answer is no, then just remove the content. Fantastic. You have an alt, but I only play on my main. Yeah, fair enough. Set up an alt with the right idea, and then just play on your main. Yeah. When I played old school RuneScape, going for 99 Slayer, I noticed there was like certain strategies. So there's some people who take it like just insanely seriously over there. And the Abbey Demons over in old school look pretty cool actually, and it's a really good training method. It's like decent. You get a what was it called? A Venator bow. Probably said, I feel like it was a Veni bow, I'm not sure. And the purple bow. It's like an AoE bow, it's really cool. I still have it. And people get like a... Oh yeah, no, they didn't do it with the Veni bow. They do Ancients, but in order to do Ancient magic efficiently at Abbey Demons, they have to have another account running around, getting the Abbeys like stacked up, so their main can then use Ancient spells on the Abbey Demons. So they have like two accounts running at the same time. They have one running around and then one using auto attacks on the Abbey Demons. Something like that anyway. Crazy. Dancing alts, yeah. And it's just like, nah, I'm good. I wouldn't have the patience to like set up a second account with the intention to do that on. I think also, I don't think there's any much point in doing that unless you're going past 99. Like if you're going for insane millions amounts of XP. Yeah, so Castle Wars is a pure cosmetic requirement, so I can understand why people might get salty over Traveling Merchant, but I just don't think it's a gameplay... Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to piss people off. It's a very niche part of the game that I would love to get profound armor and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't have the time. Time is the wrong word. Let's say it's a choice, right? I would rather go and get Completionist Cape and go and do PVM achievements and stuff like that. I think if I had comp, maybe even if I had trim, and I did loads of other things, and I did all the PVM stuff I wanted to do, or maybe this is another way of looking at it. If it's AFKable, and I've done all the AFKable stuff that I want to do in the game, then sure, I'd go and AFK Castle Wars. You know, in my AFK time. That makes sense. Right now, I have too many other AFK goals, AFK things that I can do. So that's why I would choose not to do it. I love the profound armor, and I look at everyone in awe who has it. So I think it's a fantastic set of armor, mostly just because of the... Maybe it's the nostalgia kicking in. Maybe if a new player looked at that, they'd just be like, dude, it just looks like a standard set of armor. What are you talking about? But every time we see it, we know like what goes into it. And for some reason, it has that like, that sparkle, you know, that something that's special. You wouldn't do it until a universal collection log? Yeah, so you want that other incentive, right? Serendipity. You wouldn't do it purely for the cosmetic aspect. You would do it for that collection system overlay. Which, yeah, makes sense. Hello, Swen. How you doing, bro? Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for being a sub. Really appreciate the support. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, all good. Serendipity, have you got an Iron Man over on Old School then? You going to get the shards yourself? So Seren, do you play Mainscape and Old School then? At the same time, talking about multiple accounts? I've run out of flowers. At least I can have a bit of a break every time I go and fill up the flowers, right? I'm gonna go and see what upgrades I've got. Okay, 800. Not bad, guys. Increase success chance of catching a scarab. I don't get that because I catch them every time. Maybe because I'm 99 hunter. This doesn't get rid of the thing, does it? Nah, surely it doesn't. It's progressive, isn't it? Okay, good. Flower saving chance is the next unlock in 200 catches. Okay, before I get too tired, let's open up a dev block. We'll take a quick clicking break. Bring up a block. Okay, bear with me, guys. Bring up one of the dev blogs. I think I need to catch up on... There's one that came out a couple of days ago. Friday. I feel like that's... Let me just have a quick scour through this. I think it's the daily one I want to look at. Early game rebalance and daily scape overhaul. We're spending this morning looking at what feedback we might be able to implement. While we're moving in the overall right direction and are firm in our resolve to get there, your feedback as always helps identify areas of change where a little more consideration is required. With that in mind, here are just a few short, non-exhaustive notes below. Okay. So I think I'll read this because I'm guessing what this is going to do is summarize like a lot of feedback that they've gathered and collated from the player base over the past week over the past few days since that blog came out on Friday or whatever. They've managed to really read through a load pretty quickly. They're really they're really honing into this, aren't they, guys? Considering their company is not that big, they're really doing a good job of gathering information and trying to play that back to the community. There's a lot of blogs going out. I reckon they've had a lot prepared though already, so they'll probably slow down. Okay. We'll read some of this. Let me put this up on the second screen. I'm running out of space. I need a third monitor for streaming if I'm doing stuff like this. Like, I literally don't have space for this. For, like, all the chats and everything. I'm just gonna have to hide YouTube chat for a second. Sorry, guys. This is very difficult to multitask this. Okay, yeah, I heard Protox Gaming had on his thumbnail about this Chaos Altar change, right? An easy one to not go ahead with is the Chaos Altar and the Demonic Skull. We've heard you loud and clear on this point and will not require the Demonic Skull to be used at the Chaos Altar. The Chaos Altar is ZMI, right? Like, what is the rune crafting methods in the game right now? Because I thought you just go and do necromancy runes and stuff. But I guess that's a higher level unlock, maybe? And this is like early game rebalance. Oh, right, I'm thinking of something totally different. The Chaos Altar is the Worldy Prayer Altar. Oh, okay. So the demonic skull would basically mean if you skulled, you would what? You wouldn't be able to save anything? Instead, we will change the Chaos Altar buff to have it be acquired through the Wilderness Area Diary. Okay, I mean, that gives meaningful progression for the diaries, actually, which is a good thing. That makes sense. Let's move on from this one. Livid Farm, oof. I did this many years ago, and I've completed the... I've done the Completionist achievement for this one. Livid Farm Sacred Clay and Runespan points have, amongst other things, featured heavily in your discussions. We are considering what can be done about these. While we're not yet ready to commit to anything yet, we just want to let you know that we're taking your thoughts on board. Okay, I mean, I have no context there because I didn't actually read the log yet. I'm just shortcutting right now to see if I can see the big things that came out of it. I'm down for anything that's going to improve the early to mid game, because like end game, who's even doing this content? I mean, I'm trying to think. Did I do RuneSpan when they came out? I think you have to do RuneSpan to get the rune pouch, the special pouch. You have to get like an item that helps you with the special pouch upgrade. Sorry guys for the terminology, but hopefully you know what I mean. Came out with the 110 rune crafting update. Luckily, I already had the points to just buy what I needed. It's the trim wreck. Right. Yeah, it should. Yeah, I think in general, whatever makes it a better experience for early to mid-game players, because I know it's debatable. Can't they just adjust something for endgame later on and just let them focus in on, you know, some of the early stuff first, get it right for the early players, and then just adjust it? I mean, obviously, yeah, there might be some players doing endgame. Yeah. Devs don't have an easy job of, like, balancing things to the minority people going for trim versus trying to grow the game again for early to mid-game players, or just players who've never played the game before. Is RuneSpan good content? Do they feel like that's good content for early and mid-game players at all? You know, things like that. Those are the questions I'd be asking. Does it take away from the entire loop of runecrafting that, you know, is it a good method? I guess it's supposed to give an AFK alternative, I don't know. The 110 runecrafting update gives... I don't think that's probably not AFK enough. I'm trying to think about it now. But it's semi-AFK. But very, very expensive if you want to do it in that way. So that's definitely not really an approachable. It's not very accessible as an update, really, unless you're like just doing things gradually and slowly from the initial items. But then it isn't anywhere near as AFK because you're literally just running altars, aren't you? At that point, I think the only way you make that AFK, if I'm remembering correctly, is by buying an absolute truckload of the items to just make it into like burial smithing. Yeah, everybody was doing the RuneSpheres on leagues, but I think that just highlighted something that's bad. I don't think they want content in the game to be like... I don't think they want content to be in the game that people only do at set intervals of time. They want people to play when they want to play. And you could argue where there's other methods that allow you to do that, but I think as soon as you have a method that's optimal, that requires you to be there at a certain time or using, you know what I mean? Like on a certain rotation, that starts to become unfun. Or it kind of becomes a chore rather than choosing to engage in gameplay when you want to play it. So if that's part of the debate, then I can understand trying to change that. Yeah, 100% should. I think it's very hard for veteran players to comment on it. I think there's probably a certain level of faith we have to have in the devs that what they're trying to achieve. We understand what they're trying to achieve, and these are the steps. Some of these steps are areas they feel are going to improve that early game experience. And then we just have to judge, okay, what's the impact on the end game, but not lose sight that they're trying to grow the player base again and trying to captivate players and go back to the roots of what makes RuneScape. Ooh, thieving. I'll come to thieving in a second. That's a good one, isn't it? I've not got thieving yet. I bet everyone's complaining. Like, oh, they're probably making it less AFK or something. I'll have a read. Let me just check YouTube chat. Okay, we're good. Consumables like Viswax and the Wicked Hood teleport charges, you will be able to continue using your remaining ones. A brief reminder, they will not be removed from your inventories at this time. They will not be removed. But you can't, is the idea, I mean, I heard they're getting rid of Viswax, right? And you'll no longer be able to earn any new Viswax. So what's the issues that people have with this? Hey, Confito, no worries, man. Maybe just like pop out the Twitch chat, but then watch on YouTube. It has less ads. Or, yeah, whatever, personal preference. I'm just going to fill up the flowers here, guys. Bear with me. Clue scrolls again. I wonder if RS plugins are gonna like replace, let's say, Alt 1 for clue scrolls. Anyone who does their research and plays this game, tries to play this game efficiently, will likely be using Alt 1. I physically can't because I have upscaling on the game and Alt 1 doesn't recognize when you don't use 100% native. But yeah, I think I can see plugins being the new alternative to cluing, where people will feel like it's mandatory to do clues with a plugin that comes out for that. We'll see what Giants lets people... We'll see what Giants lets add-on developers read with the API. Go get it. Thank you, Casual Clown. I appreciate it. What? Some guy called Casual Clown just legged it in and said, go get it. Maybe that was me, though, and he didn't say anything, and I'm just reading what my character said. Thanks for the follow, mate. I appreciate it. Hey, the chud. Thanks, man. Hey, Stoda. What up? Yeah, nice. I'm not going to read that out loud. How you doing? Yeah, Chud, fair enough, fair enough. My good friend Icy Lemons has been doing clues. He's just finished the trim requirement for clues, so he must have unlocked the full Globetrotter outfit. So he's done with it now. He managed to just get the clue pet, the golden compass. He managed to just get it right before he finished the trim rec. So that was kind of sweet. Unlucky Stoter. I went through a period of that lead up to Christmas and during Christmas. Yeah. Especially like having young kids. Just they're always getting ill and bringing like the worst stuff from school. Yeah, just constantly fending off, taking all the vitamins and trying the best just to fend off any illness. The Clue Trainer devs will definitely make a Clue plugin. That would be better. Yeah, 100%. Plugins will definitely change the landscape for certain things like that, if Jagex allow it. I know everyone's just like screaming for quest helpers and stuff, but yeah. I'm pretty neutral on that. I think quests should probably be designed in a good way that doesn't require a quest helper, but the problem is this game is very dated. So there are lots of old quests that you're just like, what the heck? Like, just the most bizarre connections to things of how to complete the quest. People went through lots of trial and error when they first came out. The modern quests are really good, really intuitive. For the most part. But yeah, the thing I'm most interested in with plugins is going to be UI improvements. Because I don't know if Jagex are really going to be able to... I just don't think... I don't even know if that's on the table for Jagex to actually do, or whether they're just going to let people create it for them. But the UI just... It's not cutting it. For modern MMORPG. Hey Chud. Finished easy, medium, and hard log. 1 item off the master log and 3 items off the elite log. Nice, dude. Good luck on the remaining items. Hope you get them soon. Alright, let's have a look. So I heard a lot of people just complaining about the crystal mask changes. What was the main change, guys, with crystal mask? Hey, how you doing, Chewy? How's it going, man? We're just doing a chill evening stream right now. Good to see you in the chat, buddy. How's it going, man? Doing, like, probably one of the worst comp recs right now, Chewy. It must be up there. Like, I've done some of the really bad ones years ago, so... But this is... Since coming back to the game, Chewy, and doing comp recs, this is probably one of the worst ones. I don't think I've came across one yet, which I've thought, oh god, this is terrible. This is terrible. So, compared to everything I've done to date to get from 53 to 90 has been okay. This is not fun. But it's fine when I'm streaming. Yeah, it's pretty shocking. This comp rec, when released, was bugged. The croc would get stuck. Oh, they should have just deleted the content then. That would have been easier. That would have, everyone would have loved that. Okay, so I'm going to read the next passage here in the most recent dev blog. I am currently kind of going through it, Candy PKs, a little bit. If there's anything in particular that you're interested on my take on, please do like kind of post a little quote and I'll read it through and yes, let you know my take. It's a pretty massive blog, so I wouldn't be able to, I can't really conceptualize my like key thoughts right now. I've not been through the whole blog either. I'm actually reading the most recent one, which to me is highlighting some of the main pain points or sticking points that the community's had with the original DailyScape blog that came out a few days ago. So, next passage I'm going to read is, for thieving, we will tweak the plan changes to the crystal mask as well as look to increase high-level pickpocketing buffs. We still want to position the crystal mask as the best unlock for thieving when used in combination with light form. I mean, yeah. So, I think, as long as, like, I think, let me get my thoughts straight. I spent a bit of time getting my thieving setup sorted, and I had to invest like 550 mil. I know some people spent like $1 bill on this item. In before, their plan was to nerf like that combination, because if it was to nerf that combination, you can just imagine everyone just being salty because they spent like $1 bill on the Dark Facet of Grace. I spent 550 mil on the upgrade, so I don't know if that was a reason, but yeah, I spent 550 mil on this upgrade. That makes Lightform work really well with Crystal Mask, and that felt good. Like, it felt good to go through the progression of either... I mean, it's flipping awful how you get it. So for Iron Men, like, it's awful. They're going to get rid of Wildy events, so they're going to have to figure out another way to introduce the Dark Core. Maybe they've already thought of that and that was on the blog. Please let me know if they did. But in general, like, having items to go for that then combines with something else that then improves the quality of life of training that skill makes a lot of sense to me. I think it's difficult to balance that, like, inclusive of the same type of training method, if that makes... Does that make sense? I know it's quite conceptual, but what I'm getting at is you're going through this training method, and then all of a sudden, if you get that unlock, then it makes that training method even more AFK, and then it makes it into an AFK training method. I think that's when it's probably quite difficult for a dev to balance that progression. Whereas if you had, like, upgrade paths of items, so from, like, a design perspective, if you've already got an active training method, and then that combination actually just increases the XP you get from that already active training method, then you've not got a sticking point or a sticking issue or a player impacting issue of, like, that changes it from a active to an AFK. Does that make sense? Where, yeah, I think the problem with maybe with thieving is it's an AFK activity. Sorry, it's not as AFK, and then all of a sudden you get that combination and it becomes fully AFK, right? And you're effectively changing the level of attentiveness on that same skilling training method. Does that make sense? So you're like, through progression, you're making it more AFK in time. Now, that is an incentive to get to that point and obviously make it AFK, but I don't know. Is that a good way? I don't know. I'm just like thinking out loud here, brainstorming game design, and maybe it's better just to have upgrade paths and progression paths and not change whether it's AFK or not. And you have like progression paths that just improve XP, or, you know, maybe makes the gameplay, give it a little bit of a different twist on the gameplay, but it's still active, or it's still just AFK. Then you would probably remove a pain point or a sticking point for the player base. Or players really like, and there's a big incentive to make something into AFK, but then you're removing options for training methods, I think, in some ways. Because all of a sudden, that thing that you've just made AFK is now the best training method even over an active training method. And that's where you've got to be super careful when you're designing games, maybe, from like what the player is going to choose to engage in. I mean, there's my thoughts. And then I'll go to Chewy's message, the first message I read after that in-depth thinking, to panic buy Dark Horse. Thank you, Chewy, for your insight. I love you, mate. To get in Discord, dude, at some point soon. Hey, Chewy, having a hard time to find motivation to play. Yeah, I know, because you've done everything in the game. And you've got all PVM gear. Bro, don't worry. I'll motivate you again to play once I start PVMing again. You know you'll want to come and join the group. You'll want to come and join the squad. We'll squad up. We'll take on the bosses of RuneScape once again. And you will steal all my loot. The Chud thinks they said Slayer drops in the wilderness for the core. That would make a lot of sense, actually. That's pretty cool, actually. That's a good incentive for wilderness slaying. I don't know anyone who does wilderness slaying, really. I mean, yeah, it's kind of... I mean, PvP just doesn't exist and you have to opt in. You can imagine there'd be so much to do. Like, if wilderness was, like, fully open world PvP again, they could give huge incentives to wilderness slaying. I mean, it would just change the flipping dynamic of that entire area again, though. But, like, imagine it would turn into a PvX game, like a PvE VP game. Like, all of a sudden, if you just go to that area of the world, it's PvE I can't even bloody say it. PvE VP. Ashes of Creation, which is just completely flopped. Which is depressing, actually. But yeah. Pickpocketing recently became the primary way of getting clues into the game. I felt it was way too OP. Fair enough. Chud, you said you were part of the cluing community, right? What are the current optimal methods of getting clues? Other than doing other clues? They would hate me saying that. Oh. Surely that's not hidden information, like, everyone knows, like, if I just did a quick Google, I could do some research and find it out. Or just go and speak to some people, like, I think most people, would know how to get clues, right? Can't be that secret. Plus, there's only like 20 people watching now, don't worry, I'll mute the stream afterwards. Abyssal Beasts. I mean, yeah, there's absolute truckloads of people who just do that anyway, so... Like, just go there. They may not pick up the clues. And glacites for hards. Glacites? What are glacites again? Oh, they the ones over in Arc Glacial. Oh, did they change the name? The Glacors, right? Oh, they're baby Glacors. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Okay. So they haven't said specifically what they're going to do with Crystal Mass, but they still want to make that combination good. Yeah, I don't think they should remove the combination. It's not even like... It's not like massively AFK anyway. You're still having to click once every 5 minutes. I don't think that's anything extreme, personally. That's still... You know, you're still having to pay attention, aren't you? Like, once every 5 minutes. I don't think that's OP at all. There's AFK methods out there that are significantly longer than that. I know not every place required a crystal mask, so... as well, I know some people are, like, pickpocketing indefinitely at the archaeology professors. Unluckily for me, I'm not 108 thieving yet, so I don't even know if I'll get around to that. I'm trying not to, like, get anxiety from the upcoming changes. I just physically do not have the time to, like, try and box certain things off before certain things get nerfed. So, it is what it is, and I pivoted to training attack instead because of the related combat changes that are going to come. The power where they're going to bake in the power to 120. Even though it's not going to be significant, I still don't really want to be handicapped on that with just me loving combat. So I don't think I'm going to rush. Like, thieving is, it'll take quite a lot of hours to get up to the 108. So I'm just going to keep playing the game as if You know, I'm reading the blogs and everything, but I'm not letting it change like the immediate activities that I'm doing too much, except for, yeah, the major things that I want to do, like attack. Yo, Icy, how's it going? I was just telling everybody that we were talking about clues earlier, and I just told everyone that you completed your trim rec and got the Globetrotter outfit and also got the pet right before you completed the trim rec, so that's pretty sweet. Oh, I bet you are, man. Okay, let's have another quick read. We mentioned that there were further hunter buffs in the works for the early levels. We'll be buffing bird and kebbit catching methods, such as increasing the success chance on catching birds and XP when caught. So it's probably affecting early game, right, in general. So yeah, whatever makes that better for early game players, good stuff. Oh, nice. So buffing, so right now, like Crimson Swifts are like 39% at level 1. And they're just going to buff all birds to start at 75% success chance. Sweet. That'll just improve how it feels to hunt, basically. It's a bit like, I guess my analogy there would be for combat players, the many years that we had to put up with splashing on like a modern MMORPG. What up, dude? He's got his trim cape on. And then, you know, they removed accuracy. So you'd always hit, but then it'd be a percentage of your base ability damage based on the hit chance. I think that was so incredible. I think when they released Solak and we had 100% hit chance, like 100% accuracy, sorry, without having to use accuracy auras, like, everyone was like, holy, this is like, you know, the grass literally was greener on the other side. Everyone loved it. So, and then they made that universal change with how they stripped out accuracy and then just brought in hit chance. Hit potential. So yeah, I mean, probably feels crappy if you're constantly not catching a flipping bird at level 1, like, so yeah, probably a good thing. That looks sick. Yo, let's just go out. Could you do the trim? Oh, he's got the pet out as well, the flex. Okay. Icy, do the trimmed completionist emote. This might be too small of an area to do it in. Let's see it. Let's see it. The dragon. Hell yeah. That is so badass, man. One of the best emotes in any game. That is so good. Yo, I can't wait to get my comp cape, dude, and do that next to you with your trim cape. That is what I'm looking forward to, man. Alright? Remember this day. When I get the comp cape, we're gonna do that together, yeah? Hell yeah, man. Mate, I don't know if I'll do it. I probably won't do it for the thumbnail. Maybe. The problem is everyone will think I'm going for trim straight away. Okay, I need to go and handle the croc again. Crocodile Dundee. I'm gonna go and check, actually. Let's see how many I've done. Oh, God. Let me just get out of this for a second. Upgrades. Oh. Just change my mouse profile. Okay. Flower saving. Let's upgrade that. I'm almost halfway, guys. I'm almost halfway. Okay. Just gonna read the next paragraph here in their most recent blog. You must be handling the croc. How am I not handling the croc? Come on, man. There we go. Go. Go, boy. There is a concern from some folks that we're removing AFK activities. Okay, here we go. This absolutely isn't the case. We are just looking to ensure that they are balanced appropriately against the effort to allow for more... to allow for other more lean forward methods to have a place too. I mean, what I read into that is, again, just balancing the XP reward with the level of engagement you have to do, with also the monetary reward, if there's any activities that provide GP value, you know, which can change based on the economy. I think overall they should focus in on just that XP kind of versus effort angle. Obviously, monetary rewards have a place to play. Less so, I think, in RuneScape 3 these days. But I can't really comment to that because I've never... I don't know about you guys, but me and quite a lot of my mates, when we play the game, we tend to just dump money where possible, within reason, based on how much money we can make per hour from activities we enjoy, into speeding up skills. And then we get satisfaction from that. Unless, again, we can put some AFK time into a skill, and then I personally will go for that angle most of the time. But if the XP is astronomically incredible and significantly more than the AFK route, but it costs a lot of money, I'll dump money into it. I don't actually approach... I'm just thinking of, when I'm skilling, I'm just thinking, okay, what XP can I get? Can I AFK this? And does it work into my schedule to AFK this? Or can I actually dump some time into rinsing through a good XP method? And then I guess for a lot of people over the recent years, because double XP events have been so frequent, people have probably then also scheduled their skill training around double XP, which again, really kind of, yeah, I overall, it's obviously not a good way to play the game, right? So it's not a healthy way to play the game as a whole. So I know they're trying to rein that back too. But I don't think they've touched on that yet. But we already know that the schedule double XP, that if it was following the old schedule, isn't happening. And I think it was supposed to be happening like this month or something. And that isn't happening, correct? So they're rethinking that as well. Hunter guide. Yeah, I should make a hunter guide video. Click bug, 1 to 99, done. So upcoming blogs are going to be the regrounding items. Project is about making visuals and worn items fit better thematically. Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait for that. That's one thing I'm really excited about. I have cosmetics toggled off, and I have since it came out. The day it came out, I've had it off. And even I'm trying to just keep showing the items that I'm wearing as well. I'm like actively trying to do that. I think the only thing I mainly change is the cape. Thanks, Icy, for coming and saying hi in the game, dude. And congrats once again on your trim cape, dude. That must feel so satisfying. Massive goal reobtained and completed. Strength training and sailing now for you. Good luck, man. Sounds good until we PVM, dude. There's currently an ad going on Twitch, guys, for the next minute or so I just won't talk as much. And the aura overhaul. Another blog will be previewing our design direction for how to tackle auras this Friday. Okay. There is so much information coming out. This is awesome. Does anyone know what the next... I guess the next major update is the combat rework, where it comes out of the beta into the live game. I wonder if they're going to keep to that schedule. But that's coming out the end of this month, isn't it? Is there any other content coming out this month, actual content? Or is it mainly combat rework? Havenheith is coming out this quarter, isn't it? So that could be out in March, could it? Can check the BTS for February. Oh yeah, I'm looking at that now. Yeah, combat update. Are we expecting Havenheith Part 1 in March, do you think? March the 22nd. March the 23rd? Cool. I'm happy with the cadence. Combat rework is absolutely huge, so... Hey Jay, how hilarious would it be if when I start doing combat again, after like looking forward to the combat rework, I end up playing Necro? Okay guys, I'm going to bring up another vlog for some talking points. Bear with me. That was, I just went through the most recent ones, so it looks like, I mean, ultimately, yeah, a lot of people kicked off on a couple of those key items and they're looking to rebalance, re-improve it. Or re-look at it, sorry. So that's good. That's the point of the blog. Hopefully they have enough time to actually implement those changes that people had sticking points on. Most likely not, Jay. But, it's quite difficult to turn that around within a space of a couple of weeks, yeah. They probably need to get these out a lot sooner in the future. They have got an absolute stacked schedule, so we'll see how agile they can be in turning this stuff around, dude. I mean, I have the Abbey Beast souls in my player dungeon in case I can't get, you know, a space in the wilderness. But also the ghosts are pretty good, aren't they? People will be able to, like, let's come up with a couple of good training method alternatives, guys, to Abbey Beasts. I think the ghosts in the Fort for 3 dungeon are actually pretty decent because you can stack them up pretty nicely, but maybe not as much for melee though, because they are a bit spread out. Let's have a look at some of the... I've read some of the early game rebalance on this blog, so I'll have a look at the daily scape. Yeah, 100%. Hey, Vasto. Yeah, 100%. That's the skilling outfit. My mind always goes to first is, what the heck were they thinking with that fishing outfit? Like, the furry shark outfit. It makes Vasto want to claw his eyes out. It's pretty shocking, mate. So yeah, the regrounding of items is going to be good. It's going to be good. So good. The cosmetic toggle off option has genuinely improved my experience significantly. I'm not really a big fan of wings in general. Like, some people will like wings, some people don't, but they're like the mass purge of wings for me has been great. But like, just in general, some wacky outfits over there, you know. I know it's a way of expressing yourself, but for me personally, I just really like the grounded medieval sort of high fantasy theme. That's why I like playing these games, and I'm really happy to get it more grounded again. And just, it's really fun seeing people and what they're actually wearing running around the world. It makes me more connected to the world around me, for sure. It's a difficult balance. I think they just went too crazy with their cosmetics, really, because World of Warcraft doesn't really have that issue as much. The transmog system on WoW, it might in some areas, but for the most part, like, you could really hone in on like the paladin fantasy and make sure you're getting really cool paladin outfits, but you still look like a paladin, like, because that's what you want to look like, and most people did that. I very rarely, there was the occasional weird outfit, but for the most part, when I went into dungeons with like thousands of people I played with, for the most part, like, you know, everyone looked pretty damn cool, you know, like, they really kept to their art style, basically, World of Warcraft, for the most part, Blizzard. So I didn't really get a big impact, like, I didn't really feel disconnected too much, because most things they released all had the same thematic, like, they used the same color coding, so different items would go together. A lot of their stuff was really linked to the lore of the world and various things like that, you know, it made sense. So I think RuneScape just lost their way, really, in general, with that sort of stuff. So being able to just quickly fix that with a cosmetic toggle off option's been really refreshing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, I see. I think maybe in the future there could be more customization options. I think the issue they have, basically, I see, is because it got so far, I guess it's my point I just made, is that it got so far that the quick fix is just, okay, for now, the only option is you can just turn it all off if you really can't stand it. So it's a better fix than nothing. In the long run, maybe they'll be able to, like, improve that system and slowly get rid of some of the stuff. And how they handle that, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of it comes from the Bible stuff, to be honest. A lot of the keepsake stuff is okay. But then some items just look wacky, so I think, I see, what they'll have flexibility with is anything that's earned in-game, they're going to be able to change it. They're going to be able to make things more grounded, like the skilling outfits. Anything where people have bought stuff is going to be harder for them to change, because of the whole point of people buying it. Unless they figure out a way of, I don't know, hey, Icy, how about this? Like, just anything that was buyable through the marketplace, have that as a different toggle option. There's another quick fix, step 2. Make it so keepsakes, you can have an option where you can see everyone's keepsakes, but you can toggle off any marketplace cosmetic overrides. That's probably a pretty, they should have an asset list of IDs against their database, probably of everything that is purchasable through a marketplace. Put that into the UI as an option, so we can have a bit more flex in what we're choosing to show. Yeah. There does become a point where there's a lot of toggles. Yeah. I think they could add another... They could probably have, like, 5 toggles. Would be reasonable, I think. Of, like, major systems to hide or show. And they could link that to maybe the wardrobe a bit. So, like, you could choose to show no auras, you could choose to show no wings, like here, this one. And then choose to not show any marketplace stuff. That could work, I think. So then you're just showing what people have earned in-game, or like choosing to keepsake from what they've earned in-game. So looking at the blog, Dailyscape content becomes a chore list. Before you get round to doing what you want to do when you log in, you need to complete a task list of dailies. This can become quite tiresome day in, day out. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I don't play RuneScape for that. I think one of the big selling points for RuneScape is the fact that it has so many different paths that you can choose to play, and then if you don't log in for a few days and you log back in, you can then just crack on with what you were doing prior to that. You can't stack any more scarabs. Wait, hold up. Oh, we're good. And that's different than playing like a seasonal model, and I think that's a good thing. There is so much to do on this game anyway. I don't think they need dailies to entice people to play the game. If they design things correctly and create content packages for people to go for. When I played, the start of an expansion on World of Warcraft is like one of the most fun elements because you're actually exploring the new zones, you're doing quests, you're doing a variety of content. And then as soon as you get into the kind of hamster wheel process of the weeklies of that game, where it's more like the vault process. Anyone who plays World of Warcraft retail, where you get significant gear upgrades from opening a vault weekly, and there are multiple, in order to increase the amount of options you have to choose, let's say the best item, the best upgrade for that week, in order to increase the amount of options you have, you can only pick one. You need to do, let's say, 2 dungeons to start off with, then 4, and then 8, and that'll give you 3 options. You could then go and kill like 2 raid bosses, 4 raid bosses, 6 raid bosses. That gives you another 3 options. And then maybe you could go and do some open world content to give you another 3 options. To max out, it's 9 options. To then take 1 item. And you feel obliged to go and, because it's RNG, you feel obliged to go and do all those pieces of content to have 9 options by the end of the week. And then you're stuck in the rotation of doing that weekly. Now, eventually when I was doing that, the gear reward, like the power level of the gear that you're getting as a reward, scales based on the difficulty of the content that you're doing. So I ended up getting into the rhythm of just doing the dungeon bracket, so the 3 options there, because I would do dungeons at a high level and that would be the highest, and I wouldn't be taking any items from the other options really. So after like about 3 weeks of the game expansion being out, I'd end up just focusing in and honing in on dungeons, because that's the loop that I enjoyed the most, like just doing dungeons. But you did feel obliged to complete 10 dungeons per week, and you felt at a loss if you didn't get that 3rd option, you know, and you had bad RNG, you felt like you were missing out basically. And it puts that, like, you know, into you now. If you're playing the game anyway, quite actively, you're going to complete 10 dungeons. So it's okay to an extent. But if you miss a week, for whatever reason, you go on holiday or something like that, there is literally no way of catching up really. Like eventually you will, because gear will level out, but it takes like a good 2.5 months or so. And then on top of that, guys, people then do that on alts. So you do that on your main, and then you might want to train up a couple of alts as well, and people do that. So then you do 10 dungeons on your main, you do 10 on your alts for fun or whatever, and then you get the gear options. But it's a weekly loop. And yeah, devs can get that to work for seasonal structures, but even then it feels like you're on a hamster wheel, to be honest. Now I played WoW because I just loved the gameplay, how good the combat was, so I put up with that sort of stuff. because I'm just playing for the gameplay, just for doing dungeons, and I would get the rewards anyway as a passive because I just did the dungeon content. So I chose not to go and do the other stuff. So I played the system in that way. But I guess what I'm getting at is you don't want anything like that really in RuneScape, because RuneScape is just a constant progression curve where you're all in your own journey and you can just being able to play when you want and just pick up from where you left off is like kind of a big selling point for this game, to be honest. So stripping out like weekly aspects and daily aspects overall is a really good thing, positive thing for this game with how this game is structured. But if you didn't know, obviously devs use these types of systems to entice players in and keep a concurrent player count up. So some games naturally do it through like battle passes and things like that because they're trying to upkeep a player count and they need those things to entice players to play the game. And eventually, for some games, that becomes the only thing. And then guess what? The game dies eventually because there's not actually any fun and engaging content outside of those system loops. Eventually, people will get fed up of those system loops. And then other games just do it through a pay-to-win feature where you like pay to skip those things or pay to get extra credit, etc. And then it just completely devalues the integrity of the game. So overall, and it's funny, innit? Because RuneScape have tried these different systems if you look over the years with the Hero Pass, various things like that. And they never landed with the player base. So it's really good that we've stuck it out. I'm really open to the change that they're going with, and that's why I'm back playing as well. But there's my monologue over on that. I'll fill these flowers. Agreed. Awesome. Let me see how many I'm up to. 1,651. Okay. We're over halfway. Happy days. Just got back to RS after 3 years. Herika says in the Twitch chat, bunch of nice things. Yeah, 100%. It's so good. It feels just so good to be a player right now. And knowing that all these things are coming out, like playing now, getting into the game, and then just like seeing these blogs come out, reading them, getting excited for the next update, and then seeing things gradually evolve, gradually change. Back to how it really feels to play RuneScape again, back to the roots and just, yeah, feel listened to as a player. It's really good. And you're learning about necro and archaeology? Sweet, dude. That's what I mean. Like, over the years, there's been these solid pieces of content as well, like, which have came out, but then tainted by, like, these other systems that have been going on, things they've been trying, that have just been breaking the integrity of the game. So, like, but then you've got things like necro and archaeology that landed so well overall, like, archaeology in particular. Necromancy is controversial, in the aspect of, like, how the whole game became about necro. But then they upscaled the other combat styles to, like, balance things out a bit. Then they became more balanced. But as, like, a concept, adding a whole new combat style was really sweet. Having that whole new area. You know, if you're really into that theme, a lot of MMORPG players will be into that type of thing and be open to, like, trying that stuff out for a bit. So, yeah, the whole undead theme and that whole new zone with the task list and the closed off kind of progression curve of necromancy, and obviously it made it a lot easier, reduce the barrier to entry to different things in the game for new players or players who wanted to get into combat. So there was a lot of positives that came out of it overall. I won't touch on the controversial aspects. So a lot of positives that came out of it overall, and then archaeology landed really well as well. So yeah. Okay, let's have a look here. Bear with me, guys. We're going to go and give Pup RS a host. We've been streaming now for the time that I was planning on going for. And we ended with a big monologue, so there you go. Let me just go and host Pup. Alright guys, so we're over halfway on this comp rec, which is pretty sweet. So we'll keep grinding, we'll keep getting through it. There's a lot of other recs that we want to complete and box off as well, so there's a few good ones to stream. This one, you guys are just helping me get through it for sure. But I'll be doing this, I'll box this off very soon. And then we've got like achievement diaries to do, which would be pretty cool. Let me just unlock this for a second. So yeah, we've got achievement diaries that I'm going to be doing on stream. We've got like the contracts to do as well. So we've got a few things that are definitely streamable. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. It's been nice hanging out and chatting about various things, the dev vlogs, and just various things that pop into my head. And you guys driving conversations as well in the chat. Much appreciated. All the best, guys, with your goals on this game and any other game. I'm going to go and give Pup RS a raid. It looks like he's doing AOD and he's trying to do a solo achievement or something over there. So that sounds really entertaining. So if you're still sticking around on Twitch and you want to watch some RuneScape, then yeah, I recommend go and check this guy out. Most of you probably already know who he is, but it looks like he's doing some fun piece of content over there. So I'm going to go and raid now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.